In a world full of boring marketing misfits, get ready for the ride of your life with Dean Holland in The Drive.
Good morning, everybody. Dean here, of course. Welcome back to another episode of The Drive here on the journey to the Internet Profits headquarters this morning. The sun is shining, but it's a little bit windy here in the UK. So yesterday was quite a big day. We got quite a lot done yesterday, actually. We're really kind of systemizing our whole content marketing strategy. So you'll perhaps notice, and if not, have a look, because you can use it kind of as your own case study to see what we're doing. So the whole basic thing with these drive videos is that once I get to the office, I hand them off to my video guy. He then edits them, adds the intro on, then passes them to my marketing assistant now. So this is the whole system we set up yesterday. So I walk in, hand him the video, the camera, he edits it, produces it, puts the recording onto a USB stick, hands it to my marketing assistant, who then basically takes that video, uploads it onto our YouTube channel, uploads it onto our Facebook fan page. Then once it's uploaded onto YouTube, takes that video, embeds it as a blog post at deanholland.com, which you can see, which is basically where we're now documenting the journey to helping 100,000 entrepreneurs to both start and grow their businesses using the internet. So I think I mentioned yesterday we're at like 1%. So we've done we've helped like 1,000 people start earning money on the internet as it stands right now, around about that. So we've really, like I say, we've systemized this whole process now. So what's exciting about that for me personally, just so you can understand myself, what exactly my thoughts are around this, is that I know that the more content we produce, and this is how, let me explain my thinking on, I'll just turn the temperature down a bit. Let me explain my thinking on content, right? Because content marketing in your business, it's definitely not, it's not like an instant gratification thing. You're not going to create a piece of content and see it necessarily working for you immediately, such as a blog post. But looking long term, think about this. If you're watching this and listening to this right now, it means that my content is being consumed by you, right? Which means hopefully that you're getting to know me better, hopefully getting to like me, and over a period of time, my intention is that hopefully you see how much I can help you and you have enough trust in me to actually purchase paid products of ours. And so the way I picture content is almost like a little web, imagine a spider's web. A spider basically builds its web in particular places in order to catch insects, in order to catch flies so that it can eat. Well, I see content as almost like a similar thing. Every time I do one of these drive videos, every time I create a piece of content and publish it on the internet, it's like me casting a web out on the internet that could potentially catch prospects, could potentially catch people that are in my marketplace that I can help. Okay, so the more content I have, the more people I can kind of capture into my world. Does that make sense? So in case you're wondering, we've actually stopped at a train line. Got the green juice again. And so that's why, for me now, there's two approaches. One is, how do I create content every day without it taking up too much of my time? Because if I'm completely honest, it's tough to stick at a content strategy. For me, definitely, for the long term, because I could be at the office, for example, in my head I'm thinking, well, I could create a Facebook ad campaign, or I could create a new product that I could sell and make money every time I sell it immediately, like this. But with content, it's more like I've got to create something in the hope that in future it works for me, which I know it will deep down, but you kind of don't see that straight away, right? Whereas that's why I've devised and came up with this whole idea of The Drive, because I'm already driving to the office. I'm already utilizing this time. Normally I would have perhaps the radio on, or just be talking to myself or something stupid, but instead I get to actually talk to myself like this with the camera on, and I get to actually think about what I'm doing in my day, what happened yesterday, what worked, what didn't, and I can just like vocalize this and share this content with you. And it's a way of me creating content without me actually having to go out of my way to do it. And so if you're similar to me, the reason I say that is if you're similar to me, and you know deep down, well, I should probably be doing more content online in order to spread my message more, get the word out about myself, make more people aware of me and my business, but you just find like there just isn't enough hours in the day. Like perhaps you've got a full-time job still right now, you know, and you're commuting to your full-time job and you're working there, you know, 9 to 5, and then you're going home, and perhaps you've got children or a wife or a husband or family commitments at home, or perhaps even like me, you've got a dog that you get home and you have to let out or walk. And you're thinking to yourself, well, I know I should be doing those things, but I don't see how it's ever possibly going to fit into my schedule. Well, take the approach like I have. What time do you have in your normal schedule that could be utilized without really going out of your way? For me, it's this 10-minute drive to get to the office. I put the camera on and hit record. I just talk like this and I'm sharing content. Then I can basically just publish it online. And perhaps you don't have a videographer on your team. Perhaps you don't have a marketing assistant. Perhaps you don't have staff. And so you might say, well, that's all right for you, Dean. Well, I don't have those people. Well, what you can get, very, very low cost, is an outsourcer. You can go to somewhere like Freelancer or Odesk. Has it changed from Odesk? I don't even know what it's called now, but you could use one of those freelance sites. You could find a video editor, and it would, if you did this every day like me, you'd probably be talking like just a few bucks a day to have this all done for you. So you're talking like less than $100 a month. That's probably like 50 bucks a month, $100 a month. And you could have somebody publishing your content for you. All you need to really do, if you set things up correctly, is create the content itself, which if you drive to work like me, you don't have to do video. You could put one of those call recorder apps on your phone, just hit record and do an audio. Then you could put that audio on as a video. You could put that audio as a podcast on iTunes. You know, one of the things we discussed yesterday was actually taking the audio out of these drive videos and publishing that as a podcast. So what we're actually doing, once I've got about 10 or 15 drive videos, we're going to get all the audio out of them, and these are now going to become podcasts as well, potentially, if we do go ahead with that. And so always be thinking, A, how can I create content to publish online to make more people aware of me without really having to go out of my way too much so that I can sustain it and stick to it? And B, how do I use that content in so many different ways so that that one thing that I've done each day is repurposed and reused and reutilized and cycled in many different ways, making the one bit of effort that I put in to do that purpose itself many different times. Like for me, when we really systemize all of this video